back, guys. So we left the last video as we were about to begin chapter 3. So chapter 3 begins when you enter the courtyard and this Templar in front of us will accost you, or that Templar, sorry, that novice way over there in front of us. It's just...
The long time of waiting is now over. Through his immeasurable powers, the Sleeper has led us to this place so we can witness his awakening. The artifact he showed us in a vision will focus our spiritual powers. Unite your thoughts so the Sleeper will hear our prayers, for his is the path that leads to freedom, and we are his chosen people. May the Sleeper awaken!
Master, what has happened?
Yes, Master. What has happened? What have you seen?
He wanted to show us the way to freedom.
Yes, what about it?
Was it the path to freedom?
Silence! It is obvious. The path to freedom leads through the orcs. The Sleeper has shown us a place. We must find it. Not far from here, there is an entry to an orc cave. We'll start searching there. The Sleeper will be with us.
What does that mean? Shall we fight these monsters?
I'll go with the Templars. You novices shall pray for us.
Okay, so we just began chapter 3. Now, despite the fact that Core Anger says he will go with the Templars, he won't actually. Not really. He's gonna send us, because obviously. Now, Iberian has fallen under a deep trance. We're gonna talk to Core
What do
Kalam,
you want?
I'll be seeing you.
May the
and we're gonna talk to Core Angar.
What happens now?
The vision was very vague. It brought us more riddles than answers. But one thing was perfectly clear. I saw an orc in a cave. There is an old abandoned orcish place of worship nearby. The orcs used to bury their dead there. That's why we call this system of caves the Orc Cemetery. The Guru Baal Lakor has gone there with some Templars. Maybe we'll find something there to help us understand the vision. I need somebody to have a look around that place and to report to me about the situation.
Why don't you go yourself? You are the leader of the Templars.
My task is to protect the Enlightened One. I must stay here with Iberian and guard him. You have done good service for the camp. I trust you more than anybody else here. I'm asking you to go to the Orc Cemetery and report to me what the Templars have found.
I'll get on my way right now.
Before you go, take this ring. May it protect you in battle.
Where is the Orc Cemetery?
Not far from here. The novice Talus knows the way. You'll find him in the temple courtyard. He'll guide you there.
How can I become a Templar?
First, you will have to then come back.
Okay, so that's basically the conversation right there. And because we are in chapter 3, merchants will have respawned their stock again, but that isn't important right now. We are going to go and talk to Talus. So it seems that this vision isn't exactly what the Brotherhood had in mind. Iberian was struck down by some sort of how should we call it? An overwhelming magical power? Maybe the sleeper isn't who the sick camp thought he was?
Kor Angar sent me. He said you should take me to the Orc Cemetery so I can find Baal Lakor and his Templars.
So I'm the gopher again. Damn. I just should never have lost that almanac. Well then, come with me.
Okay, and Talos is gonna escort you to the Orc Cemetery. Nothing fancy about that. Just dislike the fact that I have to spend time with him. Now, because we are in a new chapter, and this quest kind of feels urgent, but it really isn't. If you want, you can take your time, you can visit traders, you can upgrade your inventory, you can upgrade your weapons, you can trade, or you can simply beat them up and take their stuff, as I usually do, because the economy in Gothic 1 is sadly broken to a large extent. Now, the Orcish Cemetery is really close, it's nearby. Let's pop another light scroll. So I'm not worried about exploring the Orcish Cemetery at our level because we have good gear, we have good weapon, good armor. And it's gonna be a bit spooky. It's a cemetery, and I really want to emphasize that Pyranha Bytes did a very good job at making Gothic scary in certain places. It really gives us some creepy vibes when we get there. And I think this episode will dedicate to the Orcish Cemetery itself. And afterwards, we're gonna go back to the sick camp and report to Kor Angar. Now, Chapter 3 is slightly longer than Chapter 2. We are gonna spend a few episodes in here. Off screen, I'll probably end up clearing the map of the monsters that have respawned just to maybe gain an extra level or half a level maybe. So this is where Talos is gonna say goodbye.
I'm not taking you across this bridge. I don't want to commit suicide. You must be mad to go in there. Even Baal Lakor and his Templars didn't get out again.
We'll see what happens. Go back to the camp. I'll be there later.
And I like how the nameless hero is becoming more and more confident right now. He feels way more confident in his own abilities. Kind of like that. Now, there are a few biters here that have spawned. Shouldn't be much of an issue since we can one-shot them at this point. And one more biter up here. Yeah, okay, and I'm just gonna quickly pop a potion of speed. I bought some potions off screen. We have an orc in the distance, an orc hunter. We're gonna lure him in with a fireball. And he also brought a friend. But at this point in the game, orcs really aren't a threat to us unless they're en masse. So we shouldn't really worry. We also have a ton of hit points right now, so we can take some damage. Now, anybody else? Nope. Should be another orc hunter over there. We're just gonna... Okay, thank you for your weapon. And we have a Templar who tried to fight them over here and he died. Now, okay, what does this Templar have? Did the inventory bug out? Yep, seems it did. Doesn't matter, we can quickly save the game. And we're gonna load the game. Sometimes saving and loading the game can be the best thing you can do to solve a bug. Okay, so we're fine now. So in vanilla Gothic, by the way, there was a critical bug that happened exactly here. When you try to open this winch, sometimes it would get stuck and you couldn't progress. Fortunately, we're playing the patched version. And this is the Orcish Cemetery. Doesn't look creepy at all, does it? Now let's go in and see what dangers we can fight inside. So it's already pretty dark. We are gonna need some mana. No problem, we have a lot of mana potions. Let's heal up just in case, because I just saw the shadow of an orc in the distance. And yep, there's an orc scout right there. Now let's... Okay, that's about it. Now, I heard a weapon drawn my way. Let's see. Do we have any other orcs trying to cause trouble? Yes. And we have another dead Templar over here. Okie dokie. Now, this cemetery is very nicely designed, in my honest opinion. But first of all, what we want to do is check the place up for any plants. I think there were some plants near the beginning. Now we're going to pop a potion of speed because I want to move quickly. Now, if I recall, there were, yep, some mushrooms over here. So, FYI, off screen in the previous episode, I kind of got bored and picked a fight with the Templars in the swamp camp because I wanted to get some extra experience, and really there are no consequences for fighting them as long as you don't kill them. And I took a lot of damage and used... Ooh, I'm hearing some fighting in the distance. Guess we can explore it before we explore these areas. Okay. Two orc scouts, okay. Are we gonna level up soon? Yep, we're gonna level up soon, and we're gonna have 100 skill points. And we are really gonna dump those 100 skill points into two-handed weapon fighting and magic. We are going to learn magic. Now, if you advanced on this side, you are gonna see how the orc scouts are fighting. A big fight. Now, fortunately, Balukor over here is actually invulnerable. And that's basically the fight right there. Nothing really fancy.
Thanks for your help. You really arrived in the last moment.
Now, before we're gonna talk to him, I wanna quickly loot up the big chamber we just passed through in the beginning. So we're gonna go back there and we're gonna check those mummies because those mummies actually have some good stuff on them. And we're also gonna loot up whatever we can find plant wise. There are a few plants over here, so if you're unsure where they are, just pop a telekinesis scroll and it's gonna reveal them in the distance. Now, I really like the vibes of this place. Mysterious runes carved in the pillars, orcs maintaining their sacred cemetery. Yeah, really nice stuff, guys. Now, let's see, can we get up here? Yes, we can. Now, first time I actually looted these mummies, I got scared to death because of the looting animation. Check this out. Yeah, the hero basically approaches the mummy and tries to loot them as if it was a chest. And I actually got scared, and I constantly wondered to myself, are these gonna mummies jump to life and suddenly attack me? Now, there's a switch here, and one of these switches is gonna release one of the gates on the opposite side. Exactly that gate in front of us over there. First, we're gonna loot these mummies. And my neighbors have just decided to start drilling holes in their walls, so I need to take a break because I don't want to annoy you guys with sounds of neighbors drilling holes in the walls. Okay. If the neighbors start again, I'm just gonna pause the video and we'll resume after that. Now, we're gonna loot these mummies. They mostly have some potions on them. But if I remember correctly, one of the potions is a permanent potion. So that's what we're looking for. So it's pretty interesting that we get some insight in Orcish culture. Okay, so the neighbors started up again. I'm just gonna pause the video right here. Okay, so my neighbors finally stopped drilling, so we can actually continue exploring this cemetery now. What do you have, Mr. Mummy? Healing, scroll, and some potions. That's okay with me. What about you? Fireball. So it's interesting by the loot that we find with them that they are actually buried with some possessions. This speaks of the idea that they believe in an afterlife, because that's the reason why you would bury somebody with possessions usually. Now let's press the switch and it's gonna open one of the gates nearby. Let's loot these mummies, see what they have. They actually loot that potion. Okay. And that's what we're gonna do in this area. We're gonna loot some potions. Also, as a design choice, it's pretty smart that they give you potions and healing scrolls exactly as you enter the Orcish cemetery, because you will take some damage here if you don't have good equipment. Now, fortunately, we do, so shouldn't be much of an issue. Did we explore this area? Okay, so this gate right here was closed previously. Elixir of healing and an amulet of power that gives us a strength bonus. That's actually pretty good. Now, this orc was buried with his weapon and a healing potion. Interesting. Now, what else do we have around here? We have the entrance. And now we're gonna go explore the other side of this Orcish cemetery. Now we're gonna go in a we're gonna start from the exit point right here, because there will be some other switches we need to find. Now, what do you have? You have some firebolts, a lot of healing spells. We have a lot of healing scrolls. And while we don't have access to rune magic just yet, okay, some plants. Should be a switch somewhere around here that opens all those gates. Now, the reason why we actually came into this Orcish cemetery was to find out what Baal Lukor and his contingent of Templars have uncovered so far. Now, there are a lot of Orcish defenders in this area. They shouldn't pose much of a problem to us because, again, we are pretty well equipped. We're stocked with a lot of healing potions, good weapons, good armor, because we played in a smart fashion. And let's use the switch. And this switch should open the gates right there. Yep. Now let's pick up these mushrooms. And we're almost done with this anti-chamber. And the fact that some mummies have magic scrolls on them suggests that the orcish shamans were actually buried in here with the other guys. So we can assume that the people, the orcs that were buried here, were orcs of importance, most likely tribal leaders or champions and people of significance in their society. So basically, I love environmental storytelling so much because you can figure out a lot of things by how something is designed. And it seems to be something that's a lost art these days in video game design. Not a lot of devs actually know how to do proper environmental storytelling. Amulet of Purification. Purification against fire and magic. And we can see that they were buried with a lot of valuables. Now, anything else? So these two up here, and I think that's about it. Yep. So let's pop a quick speed potion. Equip our telekinesis spell, because I want to see if we missed any plants. And we seem to have missed a few. Lunasay. Lunanase. I think that's how you pronounce it. Lunanase. Good name, by the way, because Luna means moon. And it makes sense for a plant called Luna to grow in the dark, in a way. Now let's see, anything else around this area? I don't think so. Now we're gonna go back to Baal Lucor, and I just quickly want to point out the fact that this Templar survived is a miracle in itself, because he only has 1 hit point. All the Templars in this cemetery only have 1 hit point. Now, this main chamber has 3 tunnels, and we are going to explore all of them. Now, let's talk to Baal Lucor first.
Kor Angar sent me. Have you found any sign of the sleeper?
Not so far. But what about Iberian? Has he come to yet?
No, he's still unconscious.
We need to solve the riddle of these caves. After all these dreadful losses, I can't go back to the community empty-handed. But my fighting skills are limited, and the orcs don't react to my magic spells like the gullible people in the old camp do. If our brotherhood sent you, maybe you could help me with the further investigation of this tomb.
I came across some dead Templars on the way here. What happened?
Master Kor Angar sent us here to investigate the caves. We expected to find nothing but stuffy graves and half-decomposed mummies. Suddenly, the darkness shifted and there were orcs everywhere. I don't know what they're looking for here, but their appearing here is more than unusual.
Where are the other Templars?
Dead. I unwittingly led them to their destruction. I hope the sleeper will pardon me.
I'll help you.
Good. Excellent. There are 3 tunnels leading out of this hall. We should search them all. Go ahead. I'll follow you.
I can't find a thing.
We'll need to search the 3 tunnels.
Okay, and that's all he has to say, basically.
We'll need...
This Templar won't speak to us because technically he should be dead, so it doesn't really matter what order you explore the tunnels in. One of them will have an orc, like this one over here, and we're just gonna... quickly engage him in combat, and there's his buddy over there. Okay. And that's all the defenders in this area, I think. Now on this side there's another orc. You can barely see them through the vegetation. Okay. And that's all there is to this area. Now Balukor should approach you here and he should say something about the carvings.
We can't go on here. Maybe these niches bear hints.
And he's not incorrect, because somewhere in this niche you can find a switch. And the grate over here doesn't lead anywhere, really. It's just there for sewage, I guess. And we're gonna find a potion, a couple of potions, and half of a parchment. Now this half of a parchment is really important. Yeah, where are you? Half of a parchment. A part of an ancient parchment. Looks like the bottom part was torn off. The writing resembles the runes on the cave's walls. And you can't actually read it, but Balukor will be happy that we found it.
I found a piece of parchment.
It looks like an orcish spell scroll, but it's been torn in two. There must be another half somewhere.
Apparently, there is no other half to the parchment.
There must be a second half. We should search all 3 tunnels.
Okay, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now let's pop another... Actually, no, we're not gonna pop a speed potion because Balukor has to follow us. So we're gonna go back out and explore the second tunnel. And the second tunnel is basically much like this one. Few orcish defenders, and now Balukor will approach us here again. Will you approach me? Don't you have anything interesting to say? Yeah, okay. Not yet then. He will eventually say something after we get the second part of the parchment, which is exactly right here. Now, did he get stuck? Yep, he got stuck. Now, here we're gonna find what looks to be like an ambush site.
This tunnel leads to a dead end. Maybe you'll find some clues here that'll help us further.
That's exactly what we're gonna find. We found the second half of the parchment. Now, these explorers seem to have died a long time ago. Guessing they were grave robbers or something, by the quality of their weapons. Now, if you fall down there, it's not a biggie, because you're basically gonna end in another tunnel. So if you actually, it seems to be that an orc actually ended up, oh no, an orc didn't actually fall down here. Now, if you're worried, by the way, about losing Balukor, don't be, because A, he's flagged as immortal, so the orcs can kill him. And if he gets stuck, you can always exit the cemetery and just simply re-enter it. Now, he's just waiting for us to tell him that we have the other half of the parchment.
There is a torn piece of parchment here.
Very good. It's the other half of the orcish spell scroll.
What do we do with the 2 pieces now?
The 2 halves match, but I can't translate these orcish signs.
And now we're gonna go back to the main chamber. And then Lukor will have a revelation for us.
Hang on. This is interesting.
Well, I can't find anything interesting in this place.
Be silent and take a look at the ornamental runes in this cave. Yeah, these should suffice to translate the 2 halves of the parchment. I have it. It's a teleportation spell. It seems that it can only unfold its powers in a certain place. Strange.
Okay. Now, there are indeed some ornamental runes in this place, but we can't really describe them. Can't really translate them. Now, here should be just a couple of orc guards. Nothing we can't really handle, but let's just pop a couple of healing potions, just to be on the safe side. Now, one orc warrior, couple of orc scouts. Now let's see if we can and as you can see, Balukor is utterly useless. And if you're worried about dying, don't be, because you can just back away, and sooner or later the orc will simply stop chasing you. Now, I think he got stuck somewhere. Okay. He just broke off aggro. So we're gonna use this to our advantage to quickly heal up. Gonna pop a healing scroll real quick. And a healing potion. And that's the most dangerous enemy in this place. It's this damn orcish warrior. Now let's see, what artifacts do we have equipped? Might unequip something. Don't really need a ring of magic. The amulet of stone skin is good. I would much rather equip something like a ring of strength for 10 extra strength points. Now let's recover our mana a bit. Heal up. And that's pretty much it. If I'm not mistaken, all the orcs are dead. We also leveled up and we have 100 skill points to spend. I can't wait to get to the old camp and spend all my skill points, because we're gonna become a two-handed weapon fighter. And that's gonna be a massive upgrade to our damage. Okay, let's loot these axes. And as you enter the middle of this room, okay, a couple of more orc scouts. Let's just quickly dispatch them. That's one. And we leave no witnesses behind. That's the second. Okay. Now, if you remember, these central pillars actually look like the pillars in the vision.
This place has a special aura. The aura of the hidden.
This hall reminds me of the image in the vision.
The vision. We're very close to our target.
Yeah, okie dokie. And there isn't anything interesting in this room. I think there are a couple of mushrooms, and that's really about it. So don't really need to spend time or waste time exploring it. They could have fleshed out this place just a bit more, but I think it's described well enough, to be honest. And we're pretty much nearing the end of the video.
Behind this wall. That must be it. My magic powers are still very weak. Use the orcish teleportation spell here, in front of this wall.
And yeah, this is a perfect moment to end the video right before we use the teleportation scroll. So I'm just gonna quickly put it in my, let's say, I didn't want to drop it, come on. Okay. And orc teleportation scroll, perfect. So I want to wish you guys a wonderful day, and if it's going to be one of those bad days, I want to wish you guys the strength and wisdom to overcome it as best as you can. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee and we're going to share more stories together. But even if you don't, that's all right as well, because I'm going to put out content for you guys because I really love good stories and good games and want to share them with you guys. So until next time, cheers and take care of yourselves.